In urban and overly populated cities, how are the communities supposed to tackle the issue of food sustainability? Livestock generates nearly a fifth of greenhouse gases, so how can we curb this environmental issue? In non-Western cultures, insects are an important food source, so why are Americans so adverse to this food? Monica Martinez owns Don Bugito, a local San Francisco business aiming to break down the stigma of insects in America.
Don Bugito as a concept came to be inspired by Mexican, pre-Columbian, pre-Hispanic cuisine using edible insects that we actually raise here in California. Don Bugito actually started as an urban farming project. So with my background and also design, I designed these farms. Farming edible insects are incredibly sustainable just because they like to be together, especially mealworms. They don't need gallons of water like a cattle. They don't produce green gases, they don't generate waste. All the waste that we get from the insects we get to compost. We had to start changing the way that we eat. We had to start being more conscious about what we eat or the choices in food. To know that these insects are not gathered from the fields. They actually come from a farm where they eat bran and carrots. But when cooking, the difference in us from other people is that we use them as food. So we relied on the flavor of the cricket or on the flavor of the worm. We relied on the food of the insect and use it as an ingredient. So merge those flavors with the food. We use the whole insect, like you don't remove the guts or the head. And 80% of the body mass of the insect is actually protein. So we eat the whole insect pretty much. You compare it to cows, we only consume 40% of the cow. We were one of the first edible insect food business. Now there's over 200 businesses. So the market is already overcrowded because people are still learning about why edible insects and why good. Really quick, I present these works in New York City. We host a dinner for 40 people. Dinner was incredibly successful. People opened the dialogue on edible insects. After that dinner, it was like they need to introduce edible insects culturally into the United States.
Like, you wouldn't know if someone gave this to you. You just eat it.
So we're not preaching for people to stop eating meat. We're just maybe preaching to people to start including insects in the diet, and by reducing the consumption of meat, we would generate some kind of change.